first virtual lessons. I hope you're going to enjoy. Please follow me with your book. It's going to be easy, easy peasy. So if you open your book, Growing into Old Age, to page 268, today's lessons is about special K, otherwise said ketamine. With some of you, we had the occasion to introduce the subject, and we spoke a little bit. But let's recap eventually what we have said so far. So, generally speaking, we said already that any type of drugs we intake will affect our brain and our nervous system. We went through also some specific drugs and some specific body reactions, from skin reaction, but also some serious major issue that can be produced if we keep taking some types of drugs like heart disease or other type of problems in our body. Special K, it's a drug that affects, as the majority of the drugs, the nervous system. Your book title is Special K, from Horse Tranquilizer to Club Drug. Why? Well, Special K was invented during the Vietnam War. Basically, it was used as a help for those veterans. They were having troubles after having witnessed the horrors of the war, having trouble to go on with their daily life. Therefore, it was given this kind of drug to mitigate their nightmares or even physical pain they were suffering after injuries or after surgeries. So that's the way from a horse tranquilizer went into use for humans. Why ketamine? Well, ketamine is although is a mild stimulant, but on the long run and on higher doses, it's an analgesic. So you stop feeling pain, literally. We will see then the effects, the extreme effects it brings to. Let's have a follow the dynamic of the use of the drug. So we started on a horse tranquilizer, then we used during the Vietnam War for humans, and then apparently it got forgotten. But the beginning of the new century, in 21st century, this drug started to reappear on the scenario, urban scenario. So people, they started to get these drugs in clubs. So actually became a recreational drug. What is a recreational drug? You can find out all the definition in the worksheet I gave you recently. And so recreational drug is the drug used for no special purpose, so there is no medical use for taking that drug. And obviously it's not something that you take you don't have a doctor telling you, okay, guy, take this pill every 2 days. No. So recreational drugs is really for no specific use and just to have fun. It started to be a recreational drug in clubs. So that's the evolution of the usage of the drug. The drug can be taken in liquid form, so injected or eaten in pills, or also can be inhaled, so swallowed. Any type of ways, really. So it's very easy to get into to get it. And now the population has been affected is a very young population, because young people, they go into club. So from 18 to 25 years old are the population age which is most affected. So, which is the effects of the drug of ketamine? Well, we said already that it's a mild stimulant, so you can feel more active. But so, and also you can have this sense of increased energy. That's why it was used for dancing longer, basically. But if you intake too much, well, you can have some sort of what your book says, out of body experiences. Out of body experiences when you feel like the body's there, but you're not in your body. You see yourself perhaps interacting. It's can be kind of scary because you don't have a connection with yourself anymore, and it can create vivid hallucinations. So that experience can really affect you, not just at the moment you're experiencing that, but on the long term. um, well, which are the healthy risks? With the although not many people have died, there is not a high rate of death for ketamine. The problem is the higher dosage. So, what does it mean? How much is too much? We don't know because it depends on the reaction of each body. So, some body can react. Each body can react differently to different kind of drugs. So, it's the same as alcohol. There are some people that can intake like 2 glasses of wine and nothing's going to happen, and there are some people that just a tip just a little bit, half of a glass of wine, and they are already tipsy and I wouldn't say drunk, but still feeling the effect. So that's the problem. We don't know. I mean, there is no like, okay, take that amount of ketamine and you're safe. You cannot know. And so the higher doses, what's the extreme effect? That is a paralyzer. So you immobilize, you find yourself immobilized, and that's why the negative side of this drug has been seen, and that's why is the famous name of the ketamine as the rape drug. Because you are still present, you can understand what's going on, but your body doesn't react. So people can abuse literally of you, and you have no control over it. Um, well, why then, if you know that, you keep trying? Well, we know very well that adolescence is a period of life where you are prone to taking. So that could be one reason why, even though you know the consequences, you don't really think about them. And but let's have a look 1 second at the overdose. I just said that okay, you can lose coordination, you feel immobilized, and consciousness. But most of the time, consciousness is still there, but you don't really remember what's going on and what happened the day after, for example. Okay, the serious side effects. Okay, so when you wake up after using high dosage of ketamine, you might not remember what happened. You might feel confused, definitely disoriented. You might have problems in with the eyesight. Your blood is pumping higher rate, so you can have high blood pressure and rapid heartbeat, and you can experience some sort of anxiety, and you may vomit. Um, it doesn't mean that you have to have all those symptoms. You can experience some of them, most of them, one or two. That's, again, it depends from body to body, so from person to person. Um, okay, some facts. The way abuse potential moderate means that it's pretty easy to find it in streets. It's considered as hallucinogen drug. That's why let's have a bit of the classification of drugs. So on the drugs, here we are. At the moment, internationally speaking, we have three types of classes: Class A, B, and C. Class A are considered the most harmful. We will have a look. Actually, we spoke about already about cocaine, crack, and amphetamines. Do you remember amphetamines? The changes of the body phases that we've seen recently. Class B, amphetamine, not prepared with injection, and fulcodine. And Class C, cannabis tranquilizer and ketamine. What's the implication about that? Well, the implication is not just on your own body, but is also on, legally speaking. So you can end up in prison if you're dealing. I mean, if you're selling and buying, or if you get caught just having that. So in possession of the drug, you can also have some penalty. Let's say up to 7 years of prison. The most dangerous. Class if you have a possession, and up to life in prison. But the Class C, that in which ketamine belongs to, up to 2 years in prison or an unlimited fine of birth. Here we're talking about US, up to 14 years in prison or unlimited fine, or both. Unlimited fine, it's la multa. Okay. All right. So. Here we are for the time being about special K. I would suggest you to answer the question. So to prepare for your oral interrogation, what is a ketamine, to go through. Ketamine is a drug. Okay, you can add some extra information. It's a drug, hallucinogen drug, blah 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 blah. Why it was used in Vietnam? Well, you can tell the story about Vietnam, how it became a drug for human people, and all the other questions answered to prepare for oral test. Let's have a look. Here in exercise 1.b, tick the correct definition for 1 in 4 women say they have had a drink spiked in a club or pub. What does it mean, spiked? Let's have a look at the 3 definitions. 1 in 4 women say that someone spilled a drink for them in a club or pub. 1 in 4 women say that somebody put something in the drink, and 1 in 4 women say that someone offered them a drink. The correct answer is, well, the correct answer is B. So spiked means to put something without the knowledge of the person, without the person knowing it, okay? And the word, the expression for a more trippy night out, trippy comes from trip, okay, trip. We should know what does it mean. So it's like viaggio. So night out is just to have more fun. All right, guys. For now, it's done. Next lesson will be on steroids, and I would like you to do the listening and reading